Hey, welcome to another boring dad lecture. If you saw an earlier video and it looks like I'm wearing the same exact outfit, it's because I'm probably wearing the same exact outfit because I just made one like 30 seconds ago and then I had another thought and I'm adding this. What are you gonna do? And also, I'm a middle-aged white guy and I just get issued clothes and I don't really have a choice in what to wear. Apparently. Course in Miracles. There's a principle in the Course in Miracles. It's one of the early lessons, and it might be the most important thing to ponder in your life. And the lesson is that nothing matters. But it's not from a sense of nihilism, right? It's this. So the lesson kind of breaks down like this, where it says, if you sit in your room or whatever space that you're in, like I'm in this car right now, right? And you look around and I say, this mirror is not what I think it is, right? These sunglasses are not what I think they are. These gloves, not what I think they are. And if there is any value in these glasses, then it's only the value that I've assigned to it. If there's any meaning in these glasses, then it's only the meaning that I've assigned to it, right? So these glasses, for example, I got a big funny shaped head, and there aren't many glasses out there that fit my head well, and these fit my head well. They fit, and they're Ray-Bans, and they cost about $120, but they're an old style, and they're actually hard to find these days. And this is the third pair that I've had, I think, because of how my brain works. I don't like trying new things. I like these sunglasses. I like the way that they look. I have, with this particular pair, I've deployed to Iraq and back and been all across the country, been all the way around the world with this pair of sunglasses. Because it's important to me. And there's a lot of memories wrapped up in this. And there's just a lot of things wrapped up in these particular sunglasses. But you know what? To anybody else, they don't mean anything. They're just sunglasses, right? To, a cow, they're just nothing. It's not even a thing to a cow. To an amoeba, I don't know, to a bacteria, it's just another giant surface to crawl across that means absolutely nothing. So the only way that these things have any meaning is to me. And it's because I gave them the meaning that they have. And now when you see them, you might give them meaning, right? My kids, when they see them, they might give them meaning. And this comes back to a principle that I learned in, it's one of David Hawking's books, which is either the Eye of the Eye or Power versus Force. I think it's the Eye of the Eye. Or it might be Truth versus Falsehood. I think it's Truth versus Falsehood, where he talks about what truth is. And it's the same principle that comes across in the Course in Miracles, that whatever it is that you're looking at in whatever environment that you're in, the values that are assigned to the objects that are around you are assigned by you, right? And what David Hawkins talks about, Dr. Hawkins, is what truth is. And it's that same core idea, but boiled down to its most fundamental part. So, what is truth? Let me give you a scenario. This is a scenario that Dr. Hawkins gives in one of his books. Is that, let's say you go to a birthday party for Susie, right? And Susie's in the middle of the room, and she has a bunch of presents. And she opens up one of her presents, and it is a Barbie doll with brown skin and blue shoes and a dress, and it comes with a kitten, right? Now, that situation is going to have a different meaning for everybody in that room, right? Because Some people are going to look at the Barbie doll with brown skin and say, oh, that's progressive. That's great. Some people in the room are going to look at the Barbie doll with brown skin and say, that's ridiculous. Why does everybody have to be so liberal? Some people are going to look at the Barbie doll and say, I never got Barbie dolls like that when I was a kid. Why does she get all that kind of stuff? And some other people are going to say, that's so cool that she gets to get Barbie dolls when she's a kid. I like that. Some other people are going to say, don't give a flying hoot nanny about anything. I just want to go have a cigarette. Right? Some other people are going to say, oh, why she gave her that gift and she likes that better than the gift that I gave her. No. Right? And the fact of the matter is the truth of the situation is that a little girl sat on the floor and opened a gift. And the gift was a thing. It was a Barbie doll with brown skin and a kitten. Right? And that's just the objective reality. Everybody else's view of that is their interpretation that comes through their own filtered mind. Right? You know, this is one of the reasons why it's important to have trial by jury. Why you have, judgments are made by a jury of your peers, because you have to have 12 different perspectives on like what actually happened. So you can come to, kind of a close objective perspective on what the truth is of the situation, right? And I say all this because there's all this discussion about truth and truthiness and facts and, new facts and fake news and blah, blah, blah. All this other kind of stuff that happens all the time. And it's easy to get confused by it. It's easy to get bothered by it. It's easy to get wrapped up in it. It's easy to get wrapped up in the drama and the debate. And it's fun. I won't lie. I enjoy it. But how is any of that ultimately going to serve you? How is any of that going to make your life better? How is any of that going to make the world better? And the answer is, it's up to you. It's really up to you. Because you're the one who determines the truth, right? From your perspective. Now, here's the next thing I want you to do, though, is that there's also this idea that, truth is subjective. And that is not the case. Truth itself is not subjective. Interpretations of truth are subjective. Remember the little girl. The little girl opened a present, and it was XYZ, right? Everybody's interpretation of that is subjective. And they are each going to say, well, I'm bringing my truth to this, and therefore that is a true thing. And it is a true thing for them. That is their subjective interpretation of the thing that happened. But the objective truth is that a little girl opened a present, and that's it. It doesn't go anywhere beyond that. And one thing that you need to remember as you're moving forward is that everybody's subjective reality is important to them. And it may be offensive to you that other people have subjective realities that are different from your subjective reality. And that's fine. But it's also true that your subjective reality is no more important than anybody else's subjective reality. And because of that, there's really nothing to hang on to. There's no sense getting emotionally attached to a subjective reality, right? So when I was younger, I was very, very conservative, and I would have been one of those people who saw a little girl open up a Barbie with brown skin and a kitten, and I would have said, why does everything have to be so liberal these days? But now I've gotten older, I've learned more, I've broadened my perspectives, I've learned more things about the world, And now I'm one of those people who looks at a little girl who opens up a Barbie with brown skin and a kitten, and I think, oh, that's really cool that, she's learning that people come in all kinds of different colors, and that's a great thing. Awesome. And, my view shifted. My subjective reality shifted around the objective event. You see what I mean? So when I was younger, I may have been really amped up about that. I might have been really concerned about that. I might have had like conversations or written blogs or, made a Facebook post or whatever. But now I would, write blogs and Facebook posts, but it would be on the other side of it. Not because I flip-flopped, not because the objective reality changed, but because my heart changed. And that is, if you go back to Course in Miracles, that's what that whole thing is. Nothing around you has any meaning in and of itself. It's just a thing. It's just an event. There's no reason to get emotionally attached to it. In fact, the best thing that you can do is to stay as emotionally unattached to as many things as you possibly can. Now, yeah, there are things that, have significance, and like, I'm emotionally attached to my children. I'm emotionally attached to these sunglasses. Like, if something happened to these sunglasses, I'd be hurt. If something happened to my dog, I'd be sad. Right? But I'm not going to say that, my reality is crumbling or anything like that because, my dog dies, God forbid. Anyway. So, how does any of this tie into manifesting or spiritual economics? I'm glad you asked. It's because if you are not having the experience in life that you want to be having, financially, relationships, and your geography, or whatever life experience is that you want to be having, it may be because you are hanging on to ideas and you think that they are objectively true when in fact they are not. That's how it is. And we all do this. 100% of humanity does this. We all do this. There isn't a single human out there with just completely objective view on reality that's just like completely enlightened and walking around. Doesn't happen. It might have happened once or twice in all of human history, but I doubt it. So ask yourself this. Look at your financial situation or your relationship situation or your housing situation or your whatever your fill in the blank situation, which is not the way that you want it to be, that you think that it should be. And ask yourself that golden question. What about this am I treating as an objective reality, which is actually a subjective reality, and how can I change my perspective on that subjective reality? And in doing so, change the outcome, change my reality. Anyway, it's my deep thought for this afternoon. I hope you're doing well. Love you much. I hope you're finding peace and living with integrity, being kind to yourself. Please, 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 please be kind to yourself. Above all else. I know that Jesus said, love your neighbor as you love yourself. Well, that implies that you love yourself first. And I really need you to love your neighbor. So, go and love yourself. Right? Do it. Do it. Anyway, love you much. Hope you're doing well. See me soon.